Hey Dons, how are you? Hope you had a good weekend. Thanks for the feedback. No videos to review, but I'll review videos during the week as we discussed. But still got some good feedback and stuff from you, so happy days. So 3 would start off there. Don't worry about it. Okay, just keep working on tilting the hips and getting the correct feet the correct distance from the ball. Remember, chest, arms, and eyes were all the correct distance from the ball, but just got to work out where to get your feet so that you can keep the hip tilt. All right, and then don't forget, all right, we did speak about this in the past, to hit that 3-wood successfully, especially off tight fairways, you do need to bounce the club. Okay, so you do need to take just a little divot. All right, so don't be shy to sort of drop kick it a little bit. Even if it only spews out there 120, 130 yards, we're still advancing. It's still better than coming out of it and topping it. Okay, all right. Bunkers, okay, we'll get a little bit into bunkers today and practice that. All right, but other than that, we're still working on obviously making sure that there's not too much head and left knee movement. Okay, and then we're slowly trying to get this left arm stronger for longer to create a later hit and a little more extension, a little more speed on the ball. Extension meaning arms going straight through impact. Okay, they work together. Okay, the timing of the release, the power and the extension all work together. Okay, so if you lose your extension, you're going to release early. That's how it works, right? Okay, so let's touch on bunkers there, right? So greenside bunkers. All right, so obviously try and read the sand. Okay, so if it is the softer sand, all right, then we do need to open the face of that 60 degree or 56. Okay, so open that face up in your grip. And remember as well, when you open your face, you're not doing this, because as soon as you swing, that face will return. You're releasing your hands, twisting it open, and then re-gripping. So it stays open throughout the action. Okay, so basically the softer the sand, the more you open it. Okay, so if you are waist area closer to the green, keep it quite square. Proper greenside bunkers, then you got to tweak that face open. As you get in the sand, the softer and deeper the sand is, the more you open that face in your grip. Okay, so that's number one. Okay, number two, doesn't surprise you what you're talking about. Okay, if you early release it, okay, lag is pretty much your best friend in bunkers. Okay, and lag is the wrist position between our arms and the club head. Okay, now you have no problem creating lag, so that's fine, but we know you tend to release that too early. Now, if you release it too early out of the bunkers, okay, you're either going to catch the sand there, but even if you happen to catch the sand correctly, because the handle is back, there's no what we call leverage. So imagine hammering a nail into a wall, okay? And now try and hammer the nail into the wall with the head of the handle in front of the head of the hammer in front of the handle. So when we hammer, we've got this angle here, leverage. Okay, if you were to hammer like this, okay, you just wouldn't do it, obviously, but you'd have no leverage and no speed. Okay, the leverage would become a resistance in a way, you can call it that, right? So bunkers have to have lots of lag and a late release, okay, which is again going to be hard for you if you're going to early release it. It can be very hard out of bunkers. Okay, so tweak the face open and then work really hard on holding that lag as long as possible, okay, and then slapping the sand with that right hand. Okay, so it's a very sort of wristy type of shot. Okay, so once you get your setup correct, tweak the face open. Okay, obviously nice and stable is going to help, but it's a lot of wrist action. Okay. All right, and you got to learn how to release that thing much later and much more aggressively at the bottom. Okay, all right. So I just touched on that because I know you said I told you about the fat one in terms of releasing early and leverage. But it's the thin one as well. So it's the same move. Okay, but then you're worried about that instinctively. So then you miss the sand and you catch the ball on the way up, and that's the thin one. Okay, so it's actually the same thing. All right, so open face, lots of lag, and really slap the sand with the right hand. Okay, and learn to do it at the right time. Okay, it's going to take a little bit of practice. Get yourself in the short game area, have a go, or every now and then, if it's just you and Carrie, then just have a little go in one of the bunkers and you'll figure it out quite quickly. Okay, right, so what our drills today, okay, so we're going to do our little left arm warm-ups. Okay, so grip end first. Okay, remember extension with a bit of rotation of that left arm. Okay, and then obviously some where you're holding the correct grip and it's a bit heavier, a little bit harder to do. Okay, so we're going to do that little warm up. Okay, and then we're going to do our little extension drill, basically where we hit shots and we just hold those forearms, both of them straight. You can have a little bit of rotation, it's absolutely fine. Okay, and you can build up speed. So you can start off half ones. Okay, holding those forearms, and then you can build it up to longer swings. Okay, it's going to add to your acceleration and release factors anyway. Okay, and you can always get longer as you go. And you just hold both arms straight. Okay, remember, that's not exactly how the golf swing works, but you should be able to actually hit it okay like that. Okay, it'll be a little bit hard on the body if you have to play like it, but you could probably play like that as well. But just practice getting that extension and holding that extension, as uncomfortable as it feels. Then it will bleed into, or start to marry our footwork and our pivot as we go through. Okay, just do it as your drill. All right? Okay, then, first drill, all I want you to do is hit some shots. Okay, and what I want you to do is try and keep that left arm straight. So try not to be too rigid in the backswing, but downswing. Just try and keep that thing straight, as long as you can. That's all I want you to do. Okay, take some videos. Some from this side if you can, from the front on perspective. Okay, but it doesn't matter. Just hit some balls with different shots. Not a lot, 4 or 5 shots here and there. Okay, don't focus too much on the backswing. It's the downswing. So downswing, that arm just stays as straight as possible. Okay, so I just want you to hit some shots like that. Okay, and then drill number 2, okay, is more about a process. Okay, so you're going to have to sort of just more think about this, all right, but sort of try and pretend in the studio. Okay, if you can get the Sky Track on or something like that, that's fine, but just try and pretend in the studio. Okay, so we're talking about carrying out a little bit of a discussion, and you're starting to get to that level where we need to build you a really solid routine, okay, that you know what you're doing, okay, that it is dialed in and it's written down. Okay, it's documented that we know that's our routine. We must try and stick to it. All right, but also understanding the process versus the routine and how to deal with nervous shots. Okay, over water or out of bounds on left or right, or a dam on the left or the right, whatever the case may be. All right. Now, people say forget about the water. Right. Okay, it's not quite as simple as that. Right. So what we need to do is we need to be aware of that water, out of bounds, bunker, whatever it is, okay, while we're planning our shot, okay? So we need to take it into account, all right? So if we're heading over water and we're not feeling that confident, all right, we can always check how far it is to the back of the green, or, okay, I'll normally hit my 8-iron, I'm going to hit 1 club extra, I'm going to hit my 7-iron, okay? Don't hit 2 clubs extra, okay? There's no or very few good results if you do that, okay? Because even if you hit a good shot, you're going to hit in the trouble in the back. All right, so just hit 1 club extra when you do that. All right, if the water's on the left, okay, then all you have to do is pick a target that is on the right. So again, it's a case of not aiming right, pick a target that favors more on the right. Okay, good way to do it is to split your fairway in 2. Okay, make them a different color. Okay, so you look down the fairway and you go, right, that color's pink, that color's blue, and it has 2 halves. All right, and then you pick the half you want to hit into. So I go, oh, cool, I'm going to hit into the pink half. Okay, and then obviously you're focusing your eyes in the middle of the pink half. All right, that's a good way to do it. All right, and again, obviously over water club. If there's water on the left, or like hole number 3, okay, don't aim right. It's not good enough. Okay, so divide the green into 3 thirds, pick the right-hand third, all right, and then pick a target, and that's where I'm going to hit. Okay, right. Once you've done that, so you've taken the water, the trouble, the out of bounds, whatever it is, into account, and you've picked a smart target, all right, now you can forget about it and just focus on the target you picked. So now it's out of your mind. Now it's just, I'm focused, I'm dialing my eyes in on that target. All right. Generally speaking, giving it a color is a really good thing. So start picturing colors, start picturing segments. I'll send you a couple of pictures. Start picturing segments on greens, okay? And then laser your eyes on that segment. And then from there, everything else is blocked out. And you go, okay, cool, that is where I'm at. So I've now picked the right club, it's a safe club. I've picked the right target, it's a safe target. Now I can forget about everything else. I laser my eyes in on that target. Then I go through my routine, check that target again, hit at that target. Okay, so start. It's a really hard thing to do at first. Okay, so really start trying to train your eyes, train your visualization. Okay, and while you're doing that, you're adding a thing. Okay, so often it means you're stopping thinking about something else. Okay, or the pace that you play, the rhythm that you play the game, it changes slightly. So it does take practice, even though it's the correct thing to do. It does take practice. All right, so you need to practice it either on the driving range or in the studio. Okay, so just practice certain shots. Just use your imagination, use your visual skills, and practice it. Yeah. So if you're on the range, okay, you can hit say to that left hand green. Okay, I think it's like 120 normally, somewhere around there. 110, depending on obviously where the tee box is. But it's really tucked against there's like a flower bed there on the left of the green of the deck. Okay, so try and visualize that as water. Try and visualize that as number 3. Okay, and then go, cool, I'm going to pick a target that's there. Now, in that particular situation, that green's very small. You might miss that green. Okay, but you're practicing it. Okay, so you got your red segment that's close to the water, and then maybe a yellow segment, and then a green segment. Whatever your colors want to be. And then you laser your eyes in there, pick the right club. Okay, line up, go through your routine, hit. And while you're swinging, do you get distracted by the water, or are you only thinking about the golf ball and the segment that you picked? Same with tee shots. Okay, if you are going to stay pink or blue, cool. Pink left side, yeah, cool, I've got that. I'm trying to think where there's trouble. On the right somewhere. Well, let's say number 18. So there's trouble on the left. So we pick the blue segment up the right-hand side. Okay? And then we visualize that half of the fairway blue, middle of the blue, that's my half. Cool. There we go. Right. I need a bogey here to shoot 87. Okay, so just try and get yourself in the moment. Okay, the water's now not in play. You've figured the water out. Okay, you've picked the target accordingly, now it's gone. Now you just focus on that blue segment. Focus on that blue segment. Line up with that driver. Okay, focus on that blue segment. As you're swinging, all you're thinking is ball in that blue segment. Okay, and you hit. All right, and you've got to train yourself to do that a little bit. Righty. Okay, start that process, please. It's going to help us, really, really, really help us a lot with these more nerve-wracking shots. Also, when you go play other golf courses, it's going to help you a lot. But it does take time to learn it. Okay, also you're going to make a few mistakes along the way. All right, but you've got to practice it. You've got to practice thinking about it and not thinking about your other stuff, which you have been thinking of. So you've got to get comfortable with that. Okay, and then you've got to practice being able to maintain the awareness of the segment or the section or the color that you're looking for while you're swinging the golf club. Okay, not an easy thing to do, especially at first. Right, give it a try. Let's chat about it, how it's working, how it's feeling, etc., what your personal visual elements and preferences are. Okay, and we'll build this thing over the upcoming weeks and months. Righty. Thank you very much. Sorry, long video, but that's where you're at. It's time to push you to the next level. Okay, have a good week. Look forward to my videos, and I'll talk to you later.